Hello, students. Next week we will be starting Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, the tragedy of Julius Caesar. I am very excited to read this play with you because it is one of my favorite Shakespearean plays. In order to prepare you for our reading of Julius Caesar, I'm going to ask you to complete this anticipation guide. And the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is define all of these terms in the chart. All you have to do is use the links to these literary dictionaries and find the terms. You should be able to find all of them in one or the other of these dictionaries I have linked. And then type in the definition. These terms are terms we are going to be using in our study of Julius Caesar. I will be using them in class. We will be applying some of the terms to the literature. Our focus for our sort of English focus for Julius Caesar, our skill focus is persuasive writing. And our end goal is going to be to write a persuasive, creative, missing monologue from the play. And so we're going to be studying some terms that I think are key to understanding persuasive writing. A lot of them will also carry over to argumentative writing, which we will do in after Christmas break. So define these terms because, well, they're going to be our language we're going to use to talk about Julius Caesar in class. And so if I throw out these terms in class or in an instructional video and you don't know what they mean, it's going to be harder for you to understand what I'm talking about. So some of these terms will be new. Some of them should look familiar. And then in part two, okay, all I'm going to ask you to do in part two is answer or make lists in the four sort of prompts. I'm asking you to make a list of characteristics of a good leader. For instance, you could say good leaders are honest, and then you list three of your own three characteristics of a bad leader. And then I want you to give three examples of a good leader, three examples of a bad leader. You are not allowed to write Miss Cone under example of a bad leader. Let's stay away from people we know. Okay. And then in part three, you're going to read the statement. Okay. Chaos results when lawful social order is broken. You're going to decide if you agree or disagree with this statement. I disagree with this statement because I'm going to say I agree with this statement. I'm also going to say I feel as though sometimes chaos, I'm going to say both. I feel as though sometimes chaos is necessary to restore a more desirable social order. That is how positive social change often happens. However, something like jaywalking can also be considered breaking social order, breaking law, and certainly chaos does not ensue from jaywalking most often. So something like that. I'm providing hypothetical examples. I could provide real life examples. For instance, I could provide an example of when positive social change happens after a particular war, for instance, if in my response to this, okay? So I will allow you to write an A for agree, a D for disagree, or I will allow you to put a B for both and explain both sides of the coin if you'd like to. we are doing this, okay? These two parts. First of all, this play is very much about leadership, and all your main characters are leaders in Rome, essentially, and or their wives. And so you one of the things to think about with this play is determining whether or not these leaders are quality leaders. Also, one of these statements that you're going to write agreement or disagreement with and then explain in a couple sentences. These are things that the reading of Julius Caesar is going to make you think about. So I kind of want to, and I think they're interesting to talk about. So I kind of wanted to just get you thinking in the direction of some of the topics and themes and ideas we'll likely discuss while reading the play. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. Hope this helps you understand the anticipation guide better. Good luck.